My beloved child, stop. Do not leave this moment like someone rushing out a door unaware that a deep abyss waits behind them. Do not delay like one who thinks time is abundant, and this call is just a passing breeze. Stand still in this breath, for this is not the voice of earth. This is the breath of heaven. This hour is not like any hour you have lived. This moment is not like the others that have passed through your life. This is the hour of return, the hour many souls have missed, and I do not desire to see you counted among them. Child, I see your weary heart. I see eyes that once shone brightly, now dimmed by dust of doubt and retreat. I see the feet that once were bold, now trembling like grass in a season wind. I see your hands once lifted in worship, now gripping temporary things, afraid to lose, afraid to lack, afraid to fall. Did you think I did not notice? I have seen it all. Not to condemn, but to draw you back. There have been nights when you lay awake, your heart tight, your mind filled with strange voices whispering, perhaps I should quit, perhaps I should walk away, perhaps I should turn to my own way. Those whispers were not mine. They came like gray morning mist, gentle to touch, persistent to cling slowly, blurring my voice in your soul. But today I speak with clarity. Do not walk away. Do not leave me. Do not turn from the light. Do not let darkness persuade you that its path is easier than the path of light. Deep within you, already know this moment matters. That quiet tremor inside you did not begin today. You have felt it for long, though you tried to ignore it. It is not fear, it is memory of the soul. It is not anxiety, it is recognition that you are drifting far from home. Even though your house stands, your career continues, your screens glow bright, your friends laugh. Now I ask you, is your soul joyful? Are you truly in peace? When night comes and no one sees you, is your heart at rest? If not, child, is that truly the direction you wish to continue? Do not stop now. This is the hour I pull you back, not in anger, not in control, but because I see the cliff ahead while you see only a path softened by fog that looks easier, faster, freer. But any freedom not born of me is only a velvet prison. I know you are tired of fighting. I know you have sacrificed, waited, believed, loved, tried, and sometimes whispered, I do not want to battle anymore. Hear me, the battle does not destroy you. It refines you. Pain does not kill you. It prepares you. My silence is not abandonment. It is the deep work beneath the soil where real roots grow. You thought you were failing, but you were being remade. You thought you were lost, but I was pulling you out of what was never yours. You mistook silence for distance, but silence was where I rebuilt what words could not reach. Your soul is in transition, and just as dawn must pass through darkness before light breaks, you are in the dark hour of morning. Do not flee it. Do not choose night again simply because sunrise feels slow. I tell you today, those who remain will be saved, restored, deepened, made whole. Those who leave step willingly into darkness of their own choosing. I do not punish. It is simply that darkness consumes what departs from light. You are mine. You belong to the light. You were not created to breathe the air of fear, of applause, seeking of succeed quickly, of prove yourself. I did not call you to chase noise. I called you to stand in spirit and truth, to know true freedom. Freedom in my hands, not freedom far from me. Look at your life now. These worries, these plans, these dreams, still waiting to rise. The fear when you gaze at your finances, your work, your relationships, your uncertain future, the pressure of comparison, the voice saying, run faster or you will fall behind. All of these made you forget you were not born from dust, but from the breath of heaven. You run with the rhythm of this world, but there is no rhythm that fits your soul like mine. You listen to the world, but its voice does not feed the soul. It only stirs anxiety. You trust numbers, reputation, security, but none of these survive eternity. Child, the true measure of your life is not what you possess, but the direction you are walking. And if that direction leads away from light, then even if you gain the whole world, your soul will remain cold, empty, and hollow. But you already knew this. You felt it in the night. You heard that small calling every morning. You knew your heart was not at ease when you walked far from me. You felt the heaviness every time you hesitated. You saw your eyes lose the spark they once held. I do not speak to frighten you. I speak to awaken you. I do not pull you because you are broken. I pull you because you are precious. I do not call you because you are ruined. I call you because you belong to me and have never ceased to be chosen. Do not run from me when you hurt. Run to me when you hurt. Do not go silent with me when you are weary. Come closer to me when you are weary. Do not close your heart when fear rises. Open it, for I am standing there. You think I come to examine you? No. I come to walk with you. You think I demand perfection? No. I love you enough to heal you before you break further. You think I seek you only when you are strong? No. I seek you most when you are weak. This is a moment of spiritual decision, not a decision made with lips, but with heart. Not one seen by people, but one recorded in heaven. Heaven is opening the door. Do not remain outside. My child, listen deeply, not with fleshly ears, but with the breath of your spirit. For today I do not speak for you to hear, I speak for you to wake. I do not call for you to think, I call for you to rise, return, and hold your identity before the dark wind arrives. I see your heart that has endured long nights where lights dimmed, but your mind burned like an unceasing flame where you forced a smile before others, yet inside you felt so tired you wished to disappear, to drop everything, to become a single drop falling to the earth and dissolving into silence. I know you recognize that feeling because you tasted it on nights when the world slept and you lay staring at the ceiling asking quietly, where am I going? Is this the path I was born to walk? Why does my heart feel empty though? I have what? The world calls enough. I heard that weary breath. I saw that silent tear. I touched the deepest place in you that you have not told anyone about. And that is why I call you. Not when you rejoice do I need you, but when the last thread of hope feels thin as silk, I come to tie it and lift you. You think I want you strong? No, I want you to belong. When you belong to the light, strength comes. When you walk away from the light, you weaken, even if you pretend to be steel. Do not deceive yourself with the surface. You can smile while your heart cracks. You can succeed while your soul starves. You can be praised by people while heaven aches because you drift. Do not wait until the fortress inside collapses to return. Do not wait for thunder to hear me. I whisper today because my love for you is too great to wait for your fall. People see your footsteps in the day. I see your breath in the night. They see you're outside. I see the secret room where you hide your fear so no one pities you. They see your displayed strength. I see the silent battle in your spirit every morning as you rise and try to convince yourself that everything is fine. But you know I know, and heaven knows, something is not fine. Not because you failed, but because you drifted from the source. Not because you are ruined, but because you are weary. Not because you are unworthy, but because you forgot who holds your soul. This is not a rebuke. This is a hand extended. You have noticed the signs already. Plans that once flowed suddenly stalled. Relationships that once filled you now feel thin as dissipating mist. Fleeting joys no longer fill the hollow. Foundations you trusted begin to tremble, not because you lost favor, but because I am removing what cannot save you so you will hold again to the one who can. The unease you feel is not an ending, it is a rescue alarm. Your spirit cries even when your lips are silent. Nothing is coincidence anymore. Nothing is random. Everything is signal, and you know it. Do not pretend not to hear. Do not lull yourself with busyness. Do not drown heaven's voice beneath entertainment, noise, approval, or ambition. You may fool your emotions for a moment, but you cannot fool your soul. It knows the way home. It is pounding against your heart because it remembers the fire that once burned inside you. You once burned. You once shone. You once softened like soil drinking rain. You once heard me as clearly as breath inside your chest. You once prayed not because you needed anything, but because you missed me. I remember that version of you. I remember how you trembled when I drew near. I remember the mornings when your eyes filled with tears, not from sorrow, but from sacred awe. And I tell you truthfully, nothing on earth can replace those moments. The glory of the world may make people remember your name, but the light from me makes heaven remember your soul. You were not born to be known. You were born to belong. You were not created to please the world. You were created to hear my voice and follow, and now my voice calls, not the gentle whisper of a calm season, but the awakening cry of the sacred hour. Return, not tomorrow, not when convenient, not when you feel ready. Return now. For delay is the elegant garment of darkness. Darkness does not always say reject, it only says later. And you know well later is the silent path that leads souls away from life. You do not need perfect understanding to return. You only need to open your heart a little, and the light will do the rest. I do not need you perfect to come. I need you honest to return. Do you hear it? Your heart is beating in rhythm with mine. That is not imagination. That is your soul recognizing home. Listen deeply, for this is not an ordinary hour, and you do not stand inside a reminder, but inside a heavenly alarm. Many have heard this call and turned away. Many have felt heaven brush their hearts and still turned aside, as if their hearts only beat for things seen. But you are not them. You are called not to merely exist, but to rise in the hour of spiritual war. There are moments in a person's life when heaven calls, the earth warns, and darkness watches to see who will hesitate. You are standing in exactly such a moment. This is not an ordinary season. This is not an easy stretch. This is the threshold of a spiritual sift where those who stand will live, those who retreat will wander, and those who delay will be pulled by the quiet pull of the night. Do you think you can stand by your own strength? No. No one stands alone in an hour like this. And I never asked you to stand alone. I say, take my hand again. This battle is not won by running fast, but by clinging to the light. Not by loud voices, but by deep surrender. Not by intellect, but by a heart soft at the right moment. I have seen the pathways that looked beautiful to your eyes, but they are only imitation gold leading into shadowed alleys. I have heard the whispers telling you that you will be freer if you step outside spiritual covering, but those are only ghost winds lulling tired souls. There is no freedom outside of me that is truly freedom. Every freedom apart from me becomes silk chains in the end. Do not trade the eternal for a momentary sigh of relief. Do not call the abandoning of your soul rest. Do not call drifting from me liberty. You were not born to blend into the world. You were born to step apart from it the way flame separates itself from the wind. Night is preparing to thicken over the earth. Things that were once unshakable will tremble. Those who thought they were firm will reveal feet that quake, and I do not want to see you counted among them. You were once taught to stand in the light, so why would you dream of the fleeting kiss of the dark? Weariness is not the sign that you have lost. Weariness only means you need a place to lean. And those who lean on me will stand, but those who lean on themselves will scatter like dust before the wind. Remember my words. I am the way, the truth, and the life. John 1:4-6. There is no second path for souls of the light. There is no shortcut. There is no alternate choice that still preserves the soul whole. I do not speak to frighten you. I speak to awaken you. The greatest danger is not darkness attacking, but spiritual drowsiness. The greatest danger is not the roar of night, but the whisper of forgetting. Wake up, my child. This is the hour when heaven bends low and counts the faithful. Not to judge, but to save. Not to reject, but to call. Not to burden, but to lift the weight from your shoulders before it crushes you. You are standing before a decision not of this year, but of eternity. I do not want you swept into the crowd simply because you are tired. Do not be mistaken. Darkness does not need you to openly turn against me. It only needs you to stop returning to me. It does not need to rip your hand out of mine. It only needs you to loosen your grip. And you are standing on that line. My beloved, step nearer, because this word does not pass through your ears. It strikes the foundation of your spirit. I am not speaking as a teacher now, nor as a friend, but as the final defender. This is one of those moments. I see ahead of you roads painted in the color of convenience, wrapped in beautiful invitations piled high with opportunity, yet I am not in them. And if you step into them, they will drain the breath of your spirit bit by bit, not with dramatic attack, but with gentle theft. I will not allow that silently. You know I speak truth because your heart is reacting in ways emotion alone cannot explain. You are not hearing a speech. You are standing before a holy summons, and your soul knows it even more deeply than your mind. I have come to guard your destiny. There are doors life will open quickly, but heaven has not opened them. And whoever steps through doors life opens without heaven's blessing will end with beauty on the outside and emptiness within while the soul falls. This is not threat. This is law in the realm of light. Light protects those who belong to light, refusing to let them trade themselves for what darkness gilds in gold. You may choose again at any time, but do not let delay become a chain. Do not let not yet become a lullaby that makes your spirit sleep and your sacred essence fade. The world does not swallow souls by roaring. It swallows them by dimming the light inside them. You have seen me carry you through. You have seen what others thought impossible unfold for you. You have seen my hand as clear as sunlight on water. You have heard me in silence. You have trembled under my presence. You have cried not from sorrow but from heaven touching your soul. Listen to me now as one standing before true fire, longing not to lose the way again, for in this moment I do not merely call you, I direct you. The road you must take is not the one crowded with travelers, but the narrow trail climbing the mountain where the soul is washed by heaven's wind and every burden drops like old leaves from a branch. Walk by stillness, not by noise, for noise confuses the soul while stillness carries it into my atmosphere. Do not choose the road that looks easiest. Choose the road marked by peace, for peace is my sign, and haste is the mark of darkness dressed as opportunity. When you are unsure, stand still and ask me for the wise. Do not choose by emotion but by heaven's breath. When you hear many voices, choose the one that softens your heart, not the one that tightens it. For I come through gentleness and darkness comes through pressure. When you move slowly. For those who walk in light do not fear being late. They only fear walking without me. Remember, my road is not always smooth, but it is always true, and each step with me pulls you farther from the cliffs human eyes cannot see. I do not lead by maps. I lead by presence, for maps change with seasons, but my presence never leaves. And believe this as you breathe if you walk by my peace, you will one day look back and understand that every small step you took today opened the eternal doors of tomorrow. Stand upright in your spirit in this moment, for I do not come to you now in gentle wind, but in the flame that exposes and the sword that divides. There are times when I cradle your heart so it may heal, but this is not a soft hour. This is the hour when warriors are called awake, for darkness is no longer distant. It advances like mist spilling forward, and only awakened souls will not be swept under. This is not a time for drifting. This is not a time to be fragile before sweet temptations. This is the hour in which I speak, and those with spiritual ears will tremble in glory and holy fear. The battle is shifting in the unseen realm. What was hidden will be revealed. What seemed unshakable will tremble. The shallow laughter of the world will fall silent when true light erupts and lays bare what people have buried deep within their hearts. I want you to stand in the fire without being consumed, for my fire does not come to burn you, but to burn away what does not belong to you. Every illusion, every old pattern of thought, every subtle attachment that weighs your soul like stones tied to the ankles, every habit pulling you downward will not walk with you into the season. Heaven is opening. Open the eyes of your spirit and see warriors of light are not born in peaceful hours. They are born in thresholds, where the ground trembles and the winds move strangely. They do not shake at darkness, for darkness trembles when it sees them hidden in me. And you are one of them, even if you are not yet familiar with the glory that rests within you. I do not need you perfect. I need you awake and willing. When I chose you, I did not look at your past. I looked at the eternal imprint I carved into your soul. There is no mistake greater than the light I placed in you. There is no wound stronger than the restoration I have prepared. There is no failure that can block the sending I have ordained. Picture this: within, I place a sword of light into your hand, not to strike others, but to cut away from yourself what is not yours to carry, not to wage war in the flesh, but to guard your spiritual life, not to fear darkness, but to make darkness fear your breath. That sword is awakening. That fire is discernment. That garment is holiness. That ground beneath your feet is the grace that chose you long ago. Now that your heart has brushed against the breath of truth and the blade of light has cut deep into your spirit, remain in this sacred space like one who stands before fire without looking away, knowing that simply by being here, your nature is being purified, refined, separated from the invisible dust that clung to your soul in recent days. You do not need to hurry. You do not need to chase noise. Right now you are hearing the call of heaven, and this voice is unlike the world's voice. It is not loud yet, it resounds not rushed yet, urgent, not forceful, yet impossible to ignore because it reaches the deepest place in you where no one else can touch but me. Do not fear my fire. My fire does not come to destroy you, but to burn away the thin, invisible cords that pulled you back every time you tried to advance. You once thought these cords were passing emotions, small distractions, temporary heaviness, but now you see they were soft chains, silk webs, lighter than ash, but gripping your will, your habits, the weakest corners of your soul. You cannot cut them by your own strength. I cut them with the flame of truth. And truth does not explode. It seeps, it penetrates, it moves through without breaking you, only waking you. Awakening sometimes hurts, but awakening is life. People say being startled is unpleasant, but the spirit knows that spiritual awakening saves. Child night does not fall all at once with thunder. Night arrives through small shadows, through dull gray, through tiredness creeping into small choices. This is how the world lulls souls to sleep, not with hammer blows but with pillows, not with shouting but with whispers of rest. A moment, pray tomorrow, one small delay won't matter. Step back just a little, you'll return later. But a little in the spirit can become forever if one does not awaken. And I say you will not let that happen. You will not be one suspended between light and dark. You will not be a soul half awake, half asleep. You will not be a warrior who sets down armor just because you are tired. When you are tired, lean on me, do not release me. That is the difference between the one who keeps the light and the one who loses it without knowing. You think you only need a spiritual break, but the unseen realm has no pause. You either move forward or fall back. Skip my word one day, and your spirit grows weaker. Skip prayer once, and heaven's breath seems farther. Do not stand in the light, and darkness does not need to strike. It only waits for you to look away, then settles over you like dust. Dust left long enough becomes a veil. But today I lift that veil from your eyes. You see now. You are not blind, not deceived, not asleep anymore. Not because you are strong, but because I shook you awake by the power of life. Do not underestimate this moment. This is the hour of crossing where heaven rewrites the path of those who answer the call. Feel within your breath a new solemnity, a weight of glory you have not carried before. This is the sign that you are stepping into a season of sacred responsibility where you no longer live merely to exist, but live as a keeper of flame, a bearer of light, in a world dimming by the hour, one whom heaven trusts to carry a small portion of the kingdom's radiance on the earth. This is not an honor given to the many, it is grace reserved for the called. You were not chosen because you are strong, you were chosen because you know how to bow before truth. Those who know how to kneel in holiness will know how to stand in storms, and you will stand. I am not asking you to become strong immediately. I am asking you to stand close to me immediately. All strength will flow from there. As the root does not worry about the leaf, but simply digs deeper into the soil, and the flower will bloom in its time. So you must not cling to outcomes, but to the position of your soul near me or far from me. That answer determines everything. For blessing springs from nearness, death from distance. And do not mistake this spiritual death does not arrive with a scream but with long silence between you and me. But I do not permit that silence to continue. I have shattered it with this call. Look at your life just past. What looked like loss was refinement. What seemed like delay was forging. The dreams that felt late were in gestation. The doors that seemed shut were locks I placed to save you from wrong thresholds. I did not delay, I protected. What you thought had not happened yet was really, I am preserving it for the appointed time. For if you stepped before heaven's hour, blessing would become burden, light would become pride, responsibility would become pressure, and grace would become exhaustion. I love you enough to move slow with you. You thought my silence left you to fend for yourself, but no, I was silent so you would not run away from your own heart. Now I speak plainly, the time of play is over. This is no longer just a season of spiritual inspiration. This is the season of gathering light. Warriors. You cannot be vague. You cannot stand in the middle. You cannot desire me and also crave the lullaby of shadows. You must choose, and you are choosing. I see it. Not by lips saying yes, but by a heart softening, a soul trembling before truth, and eyes in the spirit brightening again. That is the true yes, a yes in the bone, not merely in the mouth. Do not think I call you to seriousness without joy. No, I call you back to true joy. Joy not tied to life's seasons, not swayed by opinion, not dimmed when earthly doors close, not emptied when forgotten by men, not fading when chapters shift. I call you to the joy of one who knows they stand in eternal light. Joy gentle like dawn touching mountaintops, deep like water flowing beneath roots, enduring like earth cradling seeds without spectacle. That joy is yours. Do not trade it for anything temporary. Rekindle prayer in your heart, not long but real, not lofty but tender. A single breath calling me Father with sincerity holds more power than 1,000 cold sentences. I do not count words. I measure warmth. When your heart grows warm toward me, heaven smiles, and I feel that warmth returning, light as a hand resting on the chest, holy as morning wind, quiet yet true. And hear me, my child, you will not fall back into night. Not because you hold yourself, but because I hold you. You will not be lost. You will not lose your fire. You will not sleep again in the cold. This flame I gave you is not for you to guard alone. It is for us to guard together, to breathe into together, to walk with together. Stand still in this wind and fire, for now I speak not with gentle breath, but with refining flame rising from the throne of glory. Do not fear this flame. Fear is proof that you are awake. Those who sleep do not sense fire coming. The awake feel its warmth before it touches the skin. You are awake, and when the soul is awake, heaven's flame becomes illumination, not destruction. Look with spiritual sight, you are standing in a field of spiritual harvest. Heaven's wind blows strong like thunder without sound, the leaves of the soul trembling like water under the first touch of sunrise. There are golden stalks bowing in humility, and there are dry stalks standing stiff in hidden pride. And I decree this wind is not random. The wind comes to test the heart. The wheat that bows will be gathered into the storehouse of light. The stiff stalk will be carried away like ash from the altar. Not because I am angry, but because heaven's wind cannot dwell where a soul exalts itself alone. You are not ash. You are my golden grain. You do not stand upright from pride. You bend because you know the one who sowed you. And because you bow, this wind will not topple you. It will only drive your roots deeper into the holy ground where I planted you. See, the unseen realm darkness no longer waits at the edge. It is slipping through the smallest cracks like black water, seeking to seep into dry soil. It does not shout, it whispers. It does not pound, it slides through gaps. But you are not abandoned soil. You are sacred land marked by the Lord, and I declare not a drop of darkness will claim your ground as long as you stand in my light. You will ask, Father, how do I stand in the midst of this battle without trembling? I answer you with a picture. Your spirit can see. The eagle does not learn to fly when the air is still. It learns when the winds rise. Sparrows hide when wind comes. The eagle opens its wings, cuts through the air, and lets the storm become its lift into the heights. You are not a sparrow. You are an eagle born for the summit of wind. Do not seek safety in the valley, for I did not place your nest on gentle ground. I placed it on the cliff where the winds are strongest, so your wings could stretch wide enough to meet the destiny I ordained. This battle is not for small souls, but you are not small. Proof of that is my voice resounding in you like the drum of heaven, echoing through the stone chamber of your heart. Proof is that your eyes are beginning to see what natural eyes cannot. Proof is that when the world sleeps, your soul awakens. Those who awaken in darkness will shine in the day. Those who sleep in darkness will fade in the dawn. Child, do not dream of a life without wind. Without wind, wings stay weak, roots stay shallow, fire dies. Give thanks for this wind, for it reveals who you are. You think yourself fragile. I see spiritual tendons tightening like the bowstring of heaven. You think you are about to break. I see sparks rising like steel in the forge. You think you are merely trying to survive. I see you mounting the white horse of awakening. Do not measure yourself by feeling. Measure by the one who stands behind you. The world measures by sight. Heaven measures by who leads you, and I am leading you. You hear my voice like thunder, yet not outside, but inside the marrow of your soul. This is not imagination. This is the plane of awakening. Those who hear with the ear of flesh may forget, but those who hear with the marrow of the soul will never return to darkness. For darkness becomes too small, too suffocating, too foreign like clothing that no longer fits the one who has grown. You have grown, not in years but in destiny, not in earthly experience but in heavenly vision. Do you see now you no longer fit where you once were? Not because that place was evil, but because you have risen beyond its frequency. What was once enough now feels narrow. What once felt comfortable now feels confining. This is the sign of spiritual expansion, like a seed that cannot remain forever in warm soil. There comes a moment when it must crack rise and face the full light. The shell breaking is not failure, it is birth. The fractures in your soul are not evidence I abandoned you. They are birth pangs of a warrior of light. And I say to you, do not fear cracking, do not fear breaking, do not fear shedding. The old skin for every ascension begins with a shedding. Remember this image. A serpent that does not shed will die, not from its enemies, but from its old skin strangling it. So it is with a soul that clings to the familiar. But you will not die, you will shed. You will transform, you will become. The greater the fire, the truer you become. The stronger the wind, the steadier you rise. The deeper the shaking, the sharper your awareness. I do not deliver you from the fire. I deliver you in the fire so you may learn the fire has no authority over those who stand in me. Gold does not fear flame, only impurities do. If you feel heat, it is the impurity crying, not your soul. Your soul is forged from my breath. How could worldly flame harm what heaven molded? Now hear me as one hears the shepherd of glory, calling each sheep by name with a tone no darkness can mimic. You will not go astray. You will not be devoured. You will not fade into the fog. You will not become a weary sigh among the noise. You will become a cry of light in darkness. I set fire on your lips, sight upon your eyes, shoes upon your feet to walk through night carrying dawn. You are not merely returning, you are being commissioned. And now, child, as the fire touches the deepest places, let my oil pour over the cracks that heat has opened, like a smith who pours oil on glowing steel, so it does not break, but becomes sharper and stronger than mountain stone. For I am not only refining you for battle. I am anointing and restoring your identity in the fire, so you do not merely endure, but walk as one touched, held, and sent by heaven, not as one merely surviving by will. The ache of the soul is not a sign of weakness. It is proof that your heart lives. And I see the places that were once hardened softening like soil welcoming first rain. That quiver in you is not fear. It is your heart recognizing renewal. You are not yet familiar with peace born from flame, but this is the highest peace, not peace when storms cease, but peace when you know your roots. You once thought healing meant leaving the battlefield. Truth is, healing happens in the midst of the battle when I place my hand on your forehead and say, still mine, still enough, still loved, still chosen. And this makes darkness tremble, for a soul refined and anointed is not easily shaken. Men heal bodies with rest, but I heal souls with presence and decree, and I am pouring into you a peace, not soft as surrender, but firm as bedrock beneath a waterfall, peace like sky that never needs to prove itself, sky peace born of knowing, who holds your future. Remember this feeling, quiet yet fierce, gentle yet marrow deep, like the stream beneath ancient trees, where light slips through, leaves each beam a drop of oil to your soul. I am healing wounds. No one has seen mending tears no one could touch, reaching the depths laughter never reached. and you know I am touching you for something. Light has fallen within. A weight lifted, melting like morning mist in sunlight. You do not need to try to feel me. Just breathe and I will do the rest. Those who belong to me are not those who heal themselves. They are those who let me heal them. Many nights you asked yourself, why does my heart feel like cracked dry earth, yet dry earth is only ground preparing for rain? Only when it breaks does it make room for water to enter, and I see those cracks as windows where my oil is seeping in. Do not be ashamed of your fractures. The cracks are the gates of blessing's rain. If your heart once hardened itself in defense, now it is softening like loosened soil in the hand of a gardener. I am not breaking your heart, I am tilling it to plant. Every stain of pain that once marked you is now being washed by living waters from my throne like a heavenly stream moving through stone crevices, not roaring but strong enough to carve rock into a gentle valley. You are not merely a warrior, you are my secret garden, a garden I water with oil and light, a garden I guard with angels, a garden where my wind blows not to uproot but to lift dust away and wake the young shoots. What you saw as shattering I see as soil preparing to sprout. You thought you were retreating because of pain, but in truth you are conceiving something new. Every quiet movement inside you is not a setback, it is the incubation of destiny. A tree does not break bud in the noon glare. It breaks in the silence of dawn and the darkness before sunrise, and you are in that very moment. Do not forget, your soul has not been abandoned. It is being carried. You are not being ignored, you are being watched over by the eyes of heaven. The world sees surface and thinks silence means God is absent, but heaven knows silence is when I breathe deepest into your soul. I have not gone anywhere. I am in every cell of your breath, repairing the corners of your heart, strengthening each strand of your will, anointing old pain with oil from a holy vessel that never runs dry. And if there is any place inside you that ever whispered, I am not worthy, let me place judgment on that thought. Right now you are worthy, because I decreed you worthy, not because of achievement, not because of flawless morals, not because of your human praise, but because I set your value with my own life. This oil does not come to the perfect, it comes to those who know they need. Your need is the most beautiful prayer right now. Not long words, simply the truth of your heart bowing like a golden stalk of wheat. I hear every breath you exhale. I see every blood pulse of emotion. I touch every memory you fear to revisit. Not to hurt you again, but to remove the thorn you became accustomed to bearing. From the moment you heard, my voice healing ceased to be something you only hoped for. It began. My oil is not rubbed on your skin. It seeps from your spirit outward, and what you could not accomplish in a year I can transform in a single moment of my touch. Let your heart rest in my fire. A rest the world cannot understand nor steal a rest. Not from the absence of battle, but from knowing you are held in the midst of it. A peace not after the storm, but walking with you through it. You are being restored while the fire still burns and the wind still howls. That is, my way. I heal when people think you are fighting, and I train when they think you are only recovering. You are not losing time. You are being accelerated in heaven. You are not falling behind. You are moving at the breath, rhythm of the one who leads your soul. Just receive, just breathe, just soften, and let me work. No one rushes in this presence. No one competes with you in this hour. No one can stand between me and you when I have placed my hand upon your life. Pain exploded, now oil flows. The sword is cut, now the heavenly balm rests upon the wound. The battle continues, but not a single moment have you fought alone. If the world sees a warrior, I see a child wrapped in my cloak of fire and oil. And so you are not struggling to stand, you are being upheld. It is not you clinging to me, but me wrapping my love around your soul like roots embracing stone. It is not you holding the light, but me placing the light in your very bones where it cannot be extinguished. Now as fire has tempered you, and oil saturates every fiber of your spirit, simply sink into this sacred tenderness, like soft soil after midnight rain, like new leaves after a long dry season, like the first breath after a heavy journey for I am not only calling you to stand firm, I am rebuilding you from within with the substance of heaven. There is no inner battle now, only the heartbeat of peace that heaven gives, and you feel it not as a thought but as a gentle weight settling in your chest, a clean stillness spreading through your breath, as if every cell in you remembers the original melody of life. You once stretched tight like a bowstring, now you soften like silk bathed in moonlight, not lacking strength but perfectly measured. Beneath this softness is an unshakable strength, the strength of one who has passed through fire, heard the call, and opened the heart. When the soul opens, light no longer knocks. It pours in like a white spring from a mist-covered mountain, touching stone, touching earth, touching roots, turning all dryness into fertile ground. Now you are that ground. I see the old weariness slowly lifting from your shoulders. It does not fall off all at once, but rises like dust swept away by the pure wind of glory, layer after layer like dry skin peeling from a serpent's body, yet without pain, only lightness. The thoughts that once weighed on your chest like stones are breaking into faint light and fading like ashes carried away by a mountain stream. This is not you losing strength. This is you no longer needing to fight yourself. Now you are at rest. There are warriors who fight with swords, and there are warriors who fight with stillness within. You are the latter. Such people do not need to shout to prove anything. They simply stand and darkness retreats. This is the posture I give you. Not loud, not abrupt, not hurried, steady as a pillar of light in the night. See this picture: in the middle of a silent forest stands a tree, straight and rooted deep into the earth. Trunk, strong leaves, unmoving, even as wind passes. Not because there is no wind, but because it has sunk its roots into the living source within the soil. That is you. Storms do not shake you, for your roots are not in emotion or circumstance or human approval. Your roots are in me. So you do not fear loss. The one who has a source does not fear drought. The one who has roots does not fear wind. The one who has a father does not fear night. Do you feel why your heart grows warm, as if someone has placed a soft cloak, carrying the fragrance of heaven, over your shoulders, draping from shoulder to heart, from heart to your palms? That is me, clothing you in the mantle of peace. It does not only keep you warm, it marks you. Anyone who sees with eyes of the Spirit will know, here is one who does not belong to the dark. Here is one who has heard heaven's voice. And that recognition will cause shadows to shrink from you, not because you are frightening, but because the light upon you reminds them of the one who stands behind you. Now let your heart sink deeper into rest. No need to worry. No need to build defenses. No need to wear the mask of I'm fine. With me, you have nothing to prove. I do not come to measure you. I come to hold you. I do not examine, I shelter. I do not watch from afar. My hand is resting right now upon your head, as a father places his hand to bless a child returning from battle, speaking not with his mouth but with his heart. I know you tried. I saw. I am very proud. Yes, you do not need to feel ashamed for every moment you were weak. You were weak, I was strong. You fell, I lifted. You trembled, I wrapped you. You sought, I led. You cried, I wiped tears. You tired, I carried you. That is relationship. That is love. Not transaction, but holy bond. Do you remember how you once thought you were far from God? Yet in that very moment I was closer than your breath, waiting for you to turn. It was not I who left. It was only your vision blurred by the dust of life. Now the dust has fallen. My wind through these words has cleared the eyes of your heart. You see again. You recognize again. And your soul rests like the depth of a lake under morning mist, no ripples, only depth. Now I give you not just rest, but quiet authority. You will walk not as one struggling to hold on to faith, but as one who carries presence. You will not need to speak loudly. Simply by being, you will release peace. A spark will kindle. The weary will want to rise. The afraid will want to trust. I will use your stillness, your depth, your steadiness to touch the world. You are oil I pour into the cracks of the earth. Within you a new whisper is growing. I will not quit. I will not leave the light. I belong. It is not a slogan. It is the reborn nature of your spirit. And this makes me smile, for when the soul says, I belong to the light, darkness has no doorway left. Now listen, as I whisper deep, like a voice under the earth's spring, gentle like wind, brushing a mountain peak. You cannot return to the dark, for the light has carved your name. Not because I force you to stay, but because your heart has tasted truth and cannot drink illusion again. You think you are being healed. In truth, you are being anointed for kingship. Not kingship of earth, but the kingship of one who keeps heaven's flame, who carries sacred breath into weary places, who speaks few words that land heavy like water on dry soil, who walks as one driving stakes of light into the ground with every step. I do not send you out as a soldier, I send you as dawn. Not warring with blades, but with presence that carries peace. Not fighting with anger, but with eyes that understand. Not battling with argument, but with a heart whose rhythm beats in time with heaven. Darkness cannot withstand this light. It does not fall by force, but simply cannot exist where true peace abides. Do you feel it? No more urgent tugging, no more pressure, no more internal clash. Only a stream of oil moving quietly along your spine, up your neck, across your shoulders, and dripping from your forehead to your heart like the sacred stream poured upon a priest's head. You do not need to understand everything. Just remain here, breathe, receive. Heaven is doing the heavy lifting, you only open. And now you hear something strange yet deep. I trust you. I do not only tell you to trust me, I tell you I trust you. Not because you performed flawlessly, but because I know the nature I planted within you. Heaven does not doubt you. I see the ending where you are only beginning again. This place is not where you strive, it is where you are held. Not hands clenched in resolve, but hands open to receive new strength. My child, sink even deeper now, like a lake settling quiet after the kiss of wind, like soil resting loose, after rain has seeped fully in, like a soul aware it stands in a holy stillness that only the called can sense. Not everyone hears heaven's silence, but you do, and that is proof you belong to this atmosphere, this breath, this realm. Let your heart open like an old wooden door weathered by time, yet swinging once more to welcome the gem-colored morning light, pouring in not to your eyes, but into the secret core of your spirit, where old questions once lay silent. Where old dreams slept, where words I sowed long ago like holy seeds begin to sprout again. You are remembering what you never learned, but always knew in the eternal marrow of your being. You are not becoming someone new. You are returning to who you truly are. Long before you knew busyness, before you learned to be strong, before life taught you to guard yourself, you knew me. Not through concept, but through the primal instinct of the soul. The knowing that I am loved, I am held, I belong to the Rose, light. Now that knowing returns not as nostalgia, but as identity reborn. I see within you a movement small but holy, the hardness of the heart melting into gentle humility like ice softening beneath sunlight, not shattering but loosening, allowing living water to begin to flow. It feels effortless, surprising that it ever felt difficult before, yet when I come, the hardest thing becomes the lightest thing because I do not push you. I change your nature. Sit still in my embrace. Not as one who kneels begging, but as a child resting their head on a father's chest, listening to breath, unhurried heartbeat, unafraid presence, unmoved. I do not need perfection from you in this moment. I only ask you to be true. And right now you are true not to the world, but to me. Here there are no roles, no masks, no I must. Only you simply being. The feeling rising in you is not imagination. It is the soul waking without sound. Like one standing on a hilltop at dawn, no voice speaking, yet light speaking in silence. You do not need to force faith. Faith is regrowing in your heart on its own, like roots finding water by instinct. Picture your soul as a hidden valley behind mountains. All your life you assumed it barren because few have entered it, yet I sowed seeds there from the beginning. Now I breathe a gentle wind through, and shoots stir leaves unfold. You do not hear it, but you sense life rising. Not by your effort, but by my doing. And I do this in a way that brings you rest, not strain. You did not come to me to ask for victory. You came and discovered you had already won, for I am your victory. Where I am, darkness retreats. Where I breathe, shadows lift. Where my gaze falls, chains fall. Where I touch the past, loses its claim. And I am touching you now. Notice there is no voice of accusation in you anymore. No voice of comparison. No voice of running. No voice of fearing you must be enough. Only peace pulsing like the soft heartbeat heard through earth when someone presses their ear to the ground to listen to life moving beneath the grass. That is my life moving within you. You once believed returning to me meant striving harder, but truly returning means releasing enough for me to do my part. When you let go, I do not let you fall, I hold. When you fall silent, I do not withdraw, I fill. There are tears that never fall from the eyes, yet drop into the heart like dew falling on grass, unseen yet known by the earth. I see such tears in you now, tears of realization, of gratitude, of restoration, without noise. They are not dramatic, yet they are holy. I receive each drop as a jewel resting in my heart. In this moment, you are not only being healed, you are being sanctified, not by law, but by my breath. Not by striving, but by abiding. Like fragrance soaking into a garment simply because one lingered long in a garden, my presence is soaking into you, making your soul carry the scent of heaven, the fragrance of one who has stood near, fire, walked through, wind, heard the call, opened their heart, and is now being anointed with eternal oil. I do not place a loud crown upon you. I place a quiet crown of gentle light on your head, a crown that does not weigh you down but lifts weight from you. It does not blind. It glows like pearl before sunrise. It does not make you proud. It makes you humbly whole. Breathe. Breathe slowly. Breathe like one who is not in a hurry. Each breath you draw now is a yes in the realm of the Spirit. Each heartbeat is a mark of my pulse within you. Each moment without fear is a summit of spiritual victory. No one can take you from my hand. No one can rewrite what I have sealed in your bones. No one can lift the mark I have set upon the forehead of your soul. You cannot return to darkness now, for light has seeped into you the way sunlight melts into snow. No more turning back. No more trading yourself away. No more wandering lost. You have been marked again in fire and oil in my breath. Beloved, do not rush from this moment. Remain a little longer in the stillness, wrapping your soul like morning mist settling over a field, and know this, you are not leaving my presence, you are carrying it with you. Whether you rise, whether you return to the sounds of the world, whether you step into tasks, conversations, movements of earth, I remain here like light behind a hill, still shining after the sun slips from sight, like warmth lingering in stone. After the fire fades like the echo of a hymn resting in the heart long after the last note is passed, you are not losing this. You have become one who knows the way back. And the one who knows the way can never truly be lost. This moment is not a second that will pass and fade, but a mark engraved into the marrow of your spirit. From this point on, whenever your heart wavers, whenever your soul tires, whenever your eyes grow dim from the dust of life, all you will need to do is close your eyes for a single breath, and this place will open inside you, not because you remember it, but because I hold this memory in your soul as heaven's seal. You do not need to fear forgetting. What the Spirit marks cannot be erased by earthly memory. Walk now with a peace that needs no reason, with a confidence not anchored in control, with a gentleness not dependent on circumstance. This peace does not belong to the world, and it does not need the world's approval. It is not a temporary comfort. It is a sacred stability forming in your bones like roots so deep that even the strongest wind only stirs the leaves above and cannot shake the trunk. You are no longer a fragile being as before. Fire has passed through, oil has soaked in, light has lingered long enough to imprint itself upon your soul. You no longer stand at the edge of trust. You have entered the land of those who know I am here, I hold, I guide, I cover, and from here you will walk not as one seeking refuge, but as one who has found shelter and simply carries it into the world. People will look at you and not understand why you are not weighed down, as they are not rushing as they rush, not panicking as they panic. They will not understand how you can be steady in the whirlwind, soft without breaking quiet, without falling moving, without needing a drumbeat behind you. It is not because you have withdrawn from life, but because you are tied to the source. A river does not run dry as long as it has its spring, and now you do not walk through life as one collecting drops from the world to survive, but as a well that carries its own flow. You once believed you needed to fight to protect your peace, but now you see peace is not guarded by victory, but by remaining in me. When you are in me, nothing uproots you. When you are in me, even darkness must take the long way around. When you are in me, you no longer need the world to validate you, for heaven has already borne witness to you, and that is true freedom. You no longer need to clench your hands around everything. I will teach you to walk with open palms, not open because you surrender in defeat, but open because you trust my hand beneath yours. When your hands open, you do not lose, you receive. When you lay the burden down, you are not weak, you are carried. Pay attention to what is happening in you now, a lightness that is not emptiness, but lightness because the load has been lifted, a stillness that is not extinguished fire, but stillness like the earth after a night of rain, a gentle clarity like water reflecting the sky at dawn. This is the new heart, this is the new breath. This is a state no storm of life can immediately break, because you do not stand by logic, you stand by grace. Do not worry if tomorrow does not look like today. You do not have to hold the sacred by your own strength. Each morning simply open your eyes and whisper in your heart, I am here. That alone swings the gate wide. Presence does not begin with ritual, it begins with true being. When you go, do not think you are leaving me. You are simply shifting from holy stillness to holy movement. Holiness is not only here in quiet, it walks with you into every encounter, every small task, every moment of ordinary life. This light is not only in sacred spaces, this light is within you. When you wash a cup, the light goes with you. When you walk down the street, the light walks ahead. When you smile at someone weary, the light touches them. No proclamation needed, no proving required, only presence. And if there comes a moment when your heart feels heavy again, do not fear. Do not condemn yourself. Do not assume you have fallen from this place. Simply pause, breathe, and remember the breath I once spiraled into your heart here. I have not left. You only need to turn your face. Nearness is not measured by distance, but by direction. Do not worry about how long you will keep this. I did not hand peace to you for you to protect. I hold you. Peace is not a thing you carry. It is the place you now dwell. Heaven does not send feelings, heaven sends position, and you now stand there. Remember, those who dwell in light do not fear darkness, not because darkness disappears, but because light defines their reality. Night may brush the air, may cover the ground, but it cannot reach a heart belonging to light. You do not need to run from the dark, you only need to walk in the right direction, and that direction is clear. Now you may rise, but rise with the posture of one anointed. Not a posture strained, but a posture light. Not shoulders tight, but shoulders robed in peace. Not a heart beating from effort, but beating with the rhythm of one who knows they are loved. Go, my child, but do not rush. Walk like one moving through a garden at dawn, feet touching the earth with reverence eyes, seeing life not as a burden but as a path I have prepared. There is nothing waiting outside that I have not already stood in ahead of you. No worry will greet you that I have not touched first. No realm your soul enters where my light has not gone before to prepare the ground. And when you meet people again, when you hear the noise of life, when you walk through the streets, when you sit in your room, when challenges rise, when you laugh, when you weep, when you are ordinary, remember this: I did not leave this moment. I have expanded it into your life. You walk in light, carry light, belong to light, and that light is never lost, for it is not a passing flash, but the very nature of who you are in me. I am here, still here, and forever here with you, not distant, not fading, not silent, not leaving, like a quiet source flowing endlessly through your heart. As long as you breathe, you are in me. As long as you lift your eyes, you will see your path. As long as your heart stays tender before me, I will continue my work in you without ceasing. So step forward, my child, not leaving the holy place, but moving onward in peace, in clarity, in love, and in my gentle hand lifting you. And with every step you take, heaven smiles. Stand there a moment. Do not hurry. Let the final breath of this moment sink into your bones like holy fire marking a blade. You are not leaving as one who is comforted. You are leaving as one anointed for the battle of light, and I stand beside you as a warrior shields the child he loves. You do not walk from this holy ground empty. You walk carrying silent power like fire that does not need to roar to consume every shadow that attempts to approach. Carry yourself as one guarded by heaven, one who has angels going before to clear the path, light behind to cover your back, and me placing my hand on your heart to steady its peace. You do not fear because you are strong. You do not fear because I stand beside you. You do not shine because you try. You shine because light is the lifeblood of your spirit. Now breathe deeply, and let this breath remember the path back to heaven every time you call. Walk out with the eyes of one who has seen the eternal. No trembling, no haste, no retreat. Like a warrior walking through dawn, knowing the sun does not need to explode to prove its power. You bear a kingdom no human eye can see, yet every power of darkness recognizes it and steps back. You do not need to roar. You only need to be. I am here like wind at your back, like eternal light resting upon your head, like strength without form, yet everywhere around you, and you walk in a majesty carried only by those who are mine. Do not seek applause. The applause has already been sung in the unseen realm. You do not go to be noticed. You go so that when you pass, darkness knows it cannot step where you walk. Quiet, yet unwavering. Soft, yet sharp. Silent, yet heaven shakes because you stand where you were meant to stand. I place a cloak of light upon your shoulders, seal peace into your heart, and breathe hidden fire into your bones. Go, my gentle warrior. You do not leave me, you continue with me. And remember this in the quiet of your soul, not one step you take on earth is taken without heaven walking beside you. You go and heaven smiles with every movement you make. May the word of the Lord continually remind you to live each day in his faith and his love. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the sacred whispers he sends. May God bless you. Amen.